Let's draw some characters. So in the previous video I showed how to use shapes like a circle and a cylinder like this here and cubes to draw a character. So I want to show how to build a character out of them. So here, let me erase this because I didn't have enough space. So let's just start here. So I like to start with the line of action for the pose. So this line I'm going to use to draw the character standing. So I have this line and now I draw the head as a ball. And this ball has this angle. So here I'm going to add the body and I'm going to use a cylinder. And there are a lot of ways to draw the body. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a cylinder. And here I'm drawing a ball. And now I'm going to draw the legs here. So like this here. And now I'm just really being rough with the sizes and just trying stuff out. I think I want to have this a little bit shorter. Let's just make this higher. And I really recommend people to be really rough when you're sketching your character. Maybe more rough than I'm showing here. So here drawing the neck. And then here adding a shoulder as a ball. And then a sphere, a cylinder. So like this. Basically the same as you are drawing a stick figure character. So what I would recommend, if you're starting out, try following me drawing this, making this drawing. Maybe pause the video, draw the step, and then continue the video, draw the next thing, and so on. And at one point you want to draw your own characters, of course, and try to use these shapes as I'm showing here to draw your character. What I'm doing here is trying to give it this 3D look, and I hope you can see it clearly, but I start really light. So once I have these shapes, I can start drawing shapes on top of this here, then the hair. First really big shapes like this, almost like it's a toy character. So let's add this skirt here, just really rough. Later we're going to add more details. So we have this head, going to draw this line here. Then a nose, and then here some eyes. So now it's the middle here. So move that line, and then here the mouth. Then here the eyes looking that way. Eyebrow down. So what I would recommend is when you have my sketchbook, try to make studies of my drawings, breaking them down in these kinds of steps. So now I have this, and what I also sometimes do is I erase the sketch a little bit so you can barely see it. That's also how I get these really clean drawings in my sketchbook. And maybe I would even recommend try to be really rough and not as clean as I'm trying to be here. It's really good to be a little bit messy especially in your sketchbook or when you're practicing, because you're searching for the right line. So now I'm drawing on top of this sketch, like this here. First, important shapes like the eyes. I want the eyes to be one of them, the things that pop out the most. So I'm going here for stylized characters. Usually I draw more in this, the Disney dynamic style, or however you want to call it. But now I'm going more for this graphical kind of style character. So cheek, so meaning a lot of parallel lines. and etc. So let's add here, maybe we can add this cheek here. Maybe it works, maybe not. If it doesn't work, we can always erase it and do it again. That's the great thing about working with pencil. You can always erase stuff. So here, this eyebrow to give this attitude. So here, and now I can start drawing in the hair. So maybe here. There's a little tangent here, but don't want to worry too much about it now. So here, this overlap, so I'm avoiding the tangent. And let's draw in that hair here. So like this here, here. But can you see how I use those basic shapes first and I'm drawing on top of it to create this character? So here, this hair, and going down here, and maybe, and again holding my pencil like this to shade this character, this hair, so like this. And I always like to have my sketches a little bit sketchy, rough. I don't want to go super neat or like it's inked or something. I like to keep it a little bit rough. This is always also how I draw in my sketchbook. So try to, try to analyze my drawings from a sketchbook and maybe copy them and try to draw them with these shapes, these spheres, these cubes, cylinders. Try to come up with shapes, how you can break them down. Also this hand. So here, these fingers. So think in the overall shape and then break it down. So here, using a line like this here to suggest some depth in this arm. For example, this goes down. This gives the idea this arm is foreshortening or does have a little bit of depth. And I do play around with it because this is a stylized character. So here, breaking these fingers down, I think I want to go for 4 fingers here. And then these hips, so like this here. Then the waist. Then a line here. Then here, going here. This line going down there. Let's use some cool fold here. So. And then here a line like this here. Then maybe adding a line here. Maybe that line would work better here, but yeah, maybe this could be that this is some kind of belt or something. I think this is a little bit too complex. So maybe one line is enough there. And here for the legs. Then here, going down for the shoe, like this here, and let's make this darker. Let's draw in a line here. Let's draw in a line here and here, and let's continue this, and maybe I can talk about some other stuff. So how to draw characters like this. So I think first important to analyze artists you like, and you have that stealing. It's basically good to analyze other artists and steal from them in the way you're learning from them how they did stuff. So I'm not saying you need to copy stuff and make things exactly like how they do, but break their drawings down, learn from it, and that will help you creating your own characters, combining stuff. And it's always, when you're looking at someone's art, you can always, it often remembers on some other artist, right? And so everybody's borrowing from each other, and all those things combine. You're creating your own visual language in your own style. There's also a thing with style. When you're starting out, I wouldn't recommend going for your own personal style right away, but that's something that develops. Try to learn to draw first, and then after a while you will develop your own style. So now we've drawn this character. So let me look in my sketchbook what I want to draw next. So I think maybe something more dynamic, or a shape. Yeah, I think that's funny. So let's draw a shape. So when I have an art block or something, sometimes I like to draw a shape first. So something like this here. And when I'm drawing in my sketchbook, sometimes I fill a whole page with different kinds of shapes like this. And then I start to draw heads in them. So, for example, here, so let's draw a line in the middle, here, like this, and like this here. Let's draw in the eyes, like this. So sometimes when I'm drawing heads, I draw a mask, like this here, like it's a mask from a superhero, to get the placements of the eyebrows right and the eyes, because the eyes are a little bit sunk into the head. Drawing the nose here. Also here, this nose also shape, right? So it's almost a ball. Drawing shape on top, and then here we have the smile going down here and here. See these lines? So it's not a single line. I'm breaking it down in a couple of lines, and that gives it this nice, nice shape. So here, these pupils here and there. Let's draw in this here, and also here and here, and then some hair going like this. So that's basically how I draw in my sketchbook. I start with this weird shape, and then I make that shape 3D, and then I just start filling in stuff. Here, maybe here it has this tie. Let's give him this tie. So this is a businessman. Something like this here. Maybe this is closed. Something like this. Going like this here. Going here. Yes, something like this. So when I have this rough drawing, again you can erase it so you can barely see it. And when your sketches are more rough, don't worry about it. I think I actually sketched too clean. That's something I would like to work on, to work more rough actually. So I think you get a lot more energy in your drawings that way. But that's also the thing, right? You can always improve as an artist. I really like the idea of that being an artist is like being a garden. So what I mean with that is a garden is never finished, right? You always need to water it and nurture it, and it keeps growing. And I think the same is with being as an artist. You always need to give it water, to learn new things, to keep going, to keep growing. So here. That's also why a lot of people want to get good at drawing really fast, and I would really recommend take your time for it. It takes a lot of time to grow as an artist. So take small steps, and I also like to say often people overestimate what they can do in a short period of time. So you won't become a better artist in a day or something. Maybe you learn some basic skills, that's really good, and that actually makes you a better artist. But especially after a year or longer, you're really starting to get to see a really big progress. So you grow slowly as an artist, and also sometimes because of that, it sometimes doesn't feel like you're growing, because you only see those small changes. So it's more important to have trust in that you are growing as an artist, and especially when you are practicing the right skills, like practicing construction or other things. And just enjoy the ride, and eventually you will really become a better artist, but it just takes a lot of time. It took a lot of time for me as well. But yeah, when I started out, I had to learn a lot. Actually, still have to learn a lot. So don't feel discouraged about it. Yeah, and just keep adding stuff. Maybe here an extra line. Here then this cheek. So here, try to find some of my head sketches in my sketch ebook, and try to analyze what kind of shapes did I use. Maybe use that shape and draw your own character out of it. So maybe I want to have this more round. We erase this a little bit. And then here this. And I actually don't think too much about my line quality. And you can practice it just as I've shown before. Oh, there's this tangent. Watch out for that. I will leave it now. I think it's fine. So here, then we can add this hair here. We have this hair. To have it a little bit of long hair here, like this. And some hair like this here, and going down. Maybe. So what I also like to do is that when I'm drawing these hairs here, I try to follow the shape of this hair. So like this here, following the shape of the hair. Maybe I should have done something like this here, this hair here, this flowing line. Then we have this line here. I can make this darker. Going down. Then here, these cheeks. Then here we have this here. Then this line here. This line here, line here, line here. And yeah, the more art you study, the more automatically you're going to feel what does feel right and wrong. So one time practicing drawing, there's a lot of that you're really studying stuff, but at one point it starts to get being a part of you, how you think, how you see things. And that just takes time and practice. So yeah, keep practicing stuff like this. So let's see, what can I draw next? So yeah, let's start by drawing some really basic shapes here. For example, here, draw a square. Like this here, and then we're drawing a ball. So here I'm going to draw this owl and this animal, and maybe you can try to find a photo of an animal. Birds are really great for this, and try to break down the bird in some simple shapes, as I'm showing here: a square, a ball, and then these feet like this here. Then we're giving these really big eyebrows, because on the with these owls, you see these eyes. So that's also how I would use a reference. Try to use photos to draw from and learn from that. Here this here this beak, then here these big eyes. So first try to find a nice composition of shapes, like this here, maybe some feathers, so here and then here. See how I used here 4 feathers, 3, so I'm trying to break it down. So let's draw the final owl here. So these shapes, still not really interesting design, but let's see if we are going to draw on top of it, if we can make something nice out of it. So here, these eyebrows, something like this. Try to find some interesting lines. So go practice, drawing lines. And this is also something, if you're going to draw a lot of characters, you will learn it. So a lot of times I'm using this S shape for drawing stuff here. This S shape here for the hair. And here there's almost a C kind of shape of line. Let's shade this a little bit lighter than the eyebrows. Maybe we want to make these eyebrows a little bit darker, so they stand out more. I'm going to give these eyes, trying to find some, maybe give this a little bit of an eyelashes here. Then give this eye. We can also give it some irises, like this here. We make this dark and this part light, so something like this here. And yeah, I also don't know if this is going to work or not. So here this beak, it's, but at the same time this is also how I often draw. Also I do know in a way if it will work a little bit or not. So here giving some shading. I think the head is a little bit too small, so maybe try to make it a little bit different. So do something like this. Give it a little bit of a chin. We stick this out a little bit more here. Maybe a thick line here. So a line here. And then here these wings, and then the body, like this here, and with shading following the body around here. I think it would have been funnier if I made the head bigger and the body maybe smaller. Now the body has the same size as the head, but yeah. If I was working my sketchbook, I would finish it and then move on to the next one and try to find more of that contrast. And so that's also a thing. When you finish something, you can see what you've learned. And then maybe write it down or maybe make a new version. So you learn from it. Always try to learn from your mistakes, right? Here, and move on. So actually, let's draw one more animal or character. So let's see if I have some animals in my sketchbook I could use. I think fishes are a bit too simple. I already drawn a bird. So that's also a thing. If I'm working in my sketchbook, I usually like to come up with some idea, so just a theme. Sometimes I'm going to draw an animal and then I just pick an animal, or I'm going to, there are some cool animals here. Maybe I can draw, let's, you know what, I already draw this all, maybe I can draw a cat. Yeah, I think that would be fun. So move this here, and let's draw this this cat here. So this S shape for the body. Let's draw in the head, this almond shape here, like this here. Then draw in the neck, the rib cage. So it's really good to study the anatomy of animals as well, or the bones, especially the bone structure, so you can learn these things. Then here, and try to learn from drawing from photos. You will learn a lot from that. So here, here, this ball, something like this, and then here this tail. So a lot of times I draw them from a photo, but of course these proportions are really different. But basically the main anatomy is the same, only those proportions are different. And of course I always give these animals, I draw really human eyes. So here, some eyebrows, I really anthropomorph them, meaning I give them human, human entropies. So when you're sketching, it's really fine to be as rough as this, or even rougher, to search for the stuff you're doing. So let's erase these lines here. So something you could do, I already said that. Find some cool photo of your favorite animal and start making a cartoon version of them. Or maybe first try to draw a realistic version so you learn how to draw it. And then after that you can start making a cartoon version out of it, right? So here, this mouth, like this here, then so like this, then here this chest, like this here. And when you're drawing, when you're drawing, it's also important to become a bit playful. So I'm going to try to be a bit playful here. So I'm just drawing on the shapes, but I try to be a little bit quick, and that can also help giving some energy to these characters. So here, then here this hair, right? This is a bit of a scruffy cat, so could also make a scruffy cat out of it. So here we have this hair, so here and here. So sometimes it actually really helps to just talk out loud when you're drawing a line here. It maybe doesn't make that much sense, but it can help you start making concentrate. Here we have this, can you see this S shape here? So it gives it a nice, nice flow. So here we can draw in this anatomy of the legs, like this here. Go down here and just give this ball here, going up, then a ball here, going up here, then line here, then here, then here, line here. You know what, it's also funny, I think this is super cliche, but something like this here for the tail, going like this, and then this is naked or scared or hurt, and now we can just shade it a little bit. Let's keep it just rough, one direction for the shading, so like this here, and then we've created this character. So maybe you can even take this design and try to find a photo of a cat that is in different pose, and yeah, try to use that, try to draw this character in a different pose from a photo you find. So that's really good exercise. So here maybe giving some shadow like this, and that is how I sketch characters using those basic shapes. So I hope you learned that you can really see the basic shapes in this design, right? So here's this shape, and here's this shape, and how this all connected, and that using those shapes I made earlier. So for example here, these ones, this makes it easier to draw the fundament of the character. So I hope that was clear, and so I hope you will look up some photos and try to draw your own favorite animal, or draw this cat in a different pose you find on online, etc. So yeah, just try to have fun and play around. Thanks.